Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday chat, Sunday sit down, hangout, whatever you want to call it. Today we're gonna
irrigation.
We're gonna have a chat about how these guys built their characters. We'll be taking questions from chat if you want to ask us anything, as long as it won't ban us on Twitch. And we have a big announcement we're going to make a little bit later. So, as always, we just want to give a couple shout outs. Check out DD Dice. They are fantastic. Just absolutely amazing. That's what we use as our dice roller for the stream normally. And Dice Tower Dungeons. They have amazing dice towers. They have DM screens, although I haven't seen them in a while. They just have some fantastic stuff. And Christy usually would have so much stuff to show you, but she's not here today, so.
Actively at San Diego Comic-Con selling 18-inch ghost ships.
Yeah.
Dice towers.
Yes, we should have got a commercial for that.
18 inches.
Is average.
For the ghost ship.
Also, I believe DD Dice is actually 3D dice or something
3D
like that.
ice.
3D ice.
Yeah. DDDice.com or DD Dice. Double D Dice.
D cubed. It should consider D cubed as a slogan.
It's pretty close to ice cream.
Well, it's 3D because they're three-dimensional.
Yep.
The D6 is a cube, so D cubed.
Yes.
You can only roll D6s on the website.
No, you can do that.
No, that's a lie. That is a lie. You can roll D20s, D10s,
D4s,
all the D's.
D12s.
all the D you need.
All the D you need.
I'm pretty
The
sure that's
D you
not
would
what they want
ever
us to say
want.
about them. But there's definitely dice there.
Yeah, all the shapes. Your pyramids. Your what's a D20?
Icosahedrons.
Yeah.
Icosahedron. There you go.
Icosahedron.
Our school teacher throws it at us.
It's the metal ones that you got to launch with a slingshot.
Oh geez, I have some of those. Don't listen. People complain about stepping on Legos. Try stepping on a D4 one time.
Oh, Caltrop.
Especially a metal one. That's a wrap. Hospital. So, let's jump into. We're gonna have. Who wants to start out telling us a little bit about their character and how they came up with their backstory, and don't everybody jump at once.
We're bashful.
All right, we'll go in alphabetical order. Ariel slash Arvad
Slash Arvad.
Right.
Alphabetical by character name or
by
real
character name. Zubin Anthony by real
name?
name.
Yeah, Anthony would have been.
So, but Arvad, you're up first. Ariel, tell us how you came up with Arvad.
Well, it was interesting because I had no clue what I wanted to play or what I wanted to do. Before this, I talked to the group before joining, this campaign, and there was games that I started that never ended, so I never had the full experience of like, oh, this is what a character is. All my campaigns ended just after like a couple sessions over the years. So, but then during that interview that we had, I mentioned a bard, and I don't know why. And that sort of stuck in my mind. So I was like, oh, let me check this out. And coincidentally, I had watched this film from my home country called The Wind Journeys, and it's about a wandering, although like a bard. They're like this person that goes from town to town telling stories in the form of music. So pretty much is that. And I had read this book called 100 Years of Solitude, also from a Colombian writer, which is a very big book. It's almost the book that started the movement of magic realism in literature in South America, if you would say so. And there's this character in this book that is called the Man, something the Man, and that dude, it says that he won an accordion from the devil in like a duel. So I was like, oh shit, I sort of mixed a folklore tale from my hometown with this character in the book, and I created this guy who is like the apprentice from this guy that won the accordion from the devil. So in a sense, it all came from like this folklore story that I had read and that I had known about from my home country, and sort of developing a little and created this sort of bard character that, in a sense, for some reason, he doesn't play music that I'm not gonna disclose here because it's part of, I think, of like what the character development is gonna be throughout the show. But he doesn't play music. He stopped for some reason. He started writing books. Poetry books. Some of them are not really good poems, some of them are, but there's a reason for this, and I just thought it would be a cool thing to include that in there. But basically, yeah, it's a character that was based from this folklore tale from my home country, and mixing things of things that I have read and these wandering musicians that I've seen in like this magic realism literature that I've done over the years.
So when the devil went down to Colombia, he wasn't a fiddle player. He was an accordion player.
He was an accordion player.
All right. I mean,
different instruments based on different areas, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the accordion is a really big instrument in the vallenato, which is like the music from Colombia, specifically from like the coast of Colombia. And it's super hard to play. And they say like sometimes people used to like enchant them so they can play better, and sort of like the duels they did. It has some really cool magical elements in the instrument itself, in its story, in how it's played, and that I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is what I'm gonna be playing. You know, like this guy's gonna play an accordion. Maybe in the future, I don't know. He doesn't play right now because of something.
Of reasons.
Can you say the name of that music again?
Yeah, I was curious about that too.
Vallenato is in Spanish, so it's V as in Victor, ALLENATO, Vallenato.
No, you sound really sexy when you say it, and I just want you to say it some more.
Sick. Vallenato.
Yeah,
Vallenato.
Yeah. Now a little slower and deeper.
Vallenato.
You heard it here first.
You're gonna need
Clip
to
that,
step away.
folks. Clip that.
But yeah, I think that's the inspiration too, and also because in real life I'm a little, I wouldn't say shy, but I'm like introvert. I don't really like talking to people a lot. I'm trying to get better at it, and I thought of playing a part. I'm gonna have to like get out of my comfort zone and try to like use the skills of that class that is like, oh, he's talks, he convinces people, he can deceive people, he's good with charisma or whatever. And so like helping also in like there's a personal element in this character for me, that there's a reason why I picked it, is to improve in something in like real life too, which I think is really cool. Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, I love the idea of using D&D to get out of your comfort zone.
yeah, and it's, you know, like talking in like the character and trying to you know, like practice also certain vocabulary in English, and like, oh, how can I say this in a better way that translates better, or using different words and learning some words and practicing how the character would talk or how he would communicate certain things. I think it also helps me personally too, which is, I think, something that D&D brings to the table that not a lot of people talk about. That is, for me, it's important at least.
I wouldn't mind if you like slipped into Spanish every once in a while, and then we'll just say that infernal is Spanish.
Infernal is Spanish. Well, Tree's talking Spanish, so whenever a Tree starts talking, have a little
Fun
Josh
fact.
just, like, Josh sends the message over to Ariel,
Anthony, and I'll read it in Spanish.
Whenever Vargas needs to talk to plants.
The tree is like, ¿Por qué a los dos?
¿Por qué no los dos?
All trees apparently speak infernal, or maybe all trees are from like the abyssal plane. Like,
And pushing
That's
their
actually
roots,
that's
pushing
actually
it.
my story arc is all trees are evil.
Me and the West said
All trees are evil.
He's trying to replace trees with mushrooms.
Yeah, no, fungus is good. Trees are evil, and I'm slowly trying to.
Don't need to breathe at all.
Nope.
Oxygen's totally overrated.
Nope. Just cast breathe underwater. We'll become an aquatic people.
Aquatic shrooms.
You have to live the rest of your life underwater. Well, that's awesome.
There should be an underwater setting in D&D.
There is.
Cool. Oh, there is.
Yeah, maybe you guys will end up underwater.
Not until I'm a high enough level to like permanently shape change into a shark. then 100%, let's go.
M3 has no problem with underwater because he doesn't need to breathe.
But he can't swim either. He's just an anchor.
He just walks to the bottom.
No. M3 would just be riding on the back of me as a giant shark, like a shark mount.
Okay.
Sharknado
There you
5.
I'm just a 20-foot like reef shark, and just with a animatron stabbing fish on my back.
Because basically we're ripping off Aquaman.
One thing Mythic would do, he would still pee in the water though.
He would release
'cause
his
he can't consume the
apple juice.
For all the animals in the water.
Speaking of Medic peeing, Jake, tell us how you came up with M3.
Oh, okay. I like the idea of the Warforged. I thought it's just like many Trekkies found Data really fascinating as a character, as a way to look in on what is humanity or what are social norms. I thought it'd be fun to use a Warforged as a means to explore just some of our social norms. So that's why he says some weird stuff that comes off inappropriate. But that's again because he just doesn't know the current era. Also, I wanted him to be. There's a lot in his past of what he does remember and some of his motivations, which we're going to go into later. I don't want to spoil any of that, but I do like the idea of playing something mechanical, and I really love the idea of flavoring all of the spells with tech. That's something I really enjoy doing. So it's kind of steampunky and then somewhat sci-fi super techy. But, there's that old saying of like, magic is nothing more than technology that we haven't figured out yet. So that's kind of like the angle that I'm going for. Yeah. And then that's why he's behaves somewhat the way he does. He's just this guy who woke up from sleep from 1,000 years ago. And is a veteran from a war from a different era.
So hold on, because we have previous campaign knowledge and stuff. He remembers the like giant Titan things from this war.
Yeah, he would have. He would have.
That's
He did
scary.
not. He does not have memories. I worked this out with Josh. He doesn't have memories about like the tail end of the war, how it ended. No clue. Things just kind of went fade to black in that regard. But like the middle of the war, when he was created, he remembers being in the trenches and all that stuff. But he's not mentally like he's not having emotional difficulties with that because he's a newer model. So he has, he's coped with that part. And it's just being a person out of time in that regard. So he's kind of like Captain America, I guess.
So, real quick, I'll throw some world lore in here. Those giant Titan things were actually the gods themselves.
Oh, really?
So,
Interesting.
think of like, how do I want to say it? Think of like the Titans from almost like WoW, like that size and scale that are just massive. That would, like, the gods were actually there. They were present. They were like, you could just walk up to them and talk to them kind of beings.
That's what Arvad wants to do.
So that's just a thing. But Jake, back to M3. Did you draw inspiration for your character design from anything in your room behind you by chance?
Well, as you can see, I went with a traditional Warforged look. Will there be any sort of other artistic influences? You'll have to wait and see. There may be some hints about that. There may be some acronyms that may get thrown around. there's two major ones that I'm gonna put in later. One you can guess already. Another one is probably gonna throw you guys for a loop, but you're gonna probably have a good laugh at it. That's the entire point.
I feel like Jake just made himself as a D&D character. Like,
Because
You mean like you did last campaign, Mickey?
Or arguably this campaign.
yeah.
I would argue that I am just so incredibly talented that I make you believe that I am every character I play.
I was just going off the fact that last campaign your wife had yelled in a couple times. That's exactly how he is in real life.
Had there not been lore to convince me otherwise, I wouldn't be shocked if Brother Mori is like Keith found a way to be immortal, and Brother Mori is just Keith. Pretend like whole new persona. Split off.
I can 100% say we hadn't come up with that idea until just now.
Though now I like this idea. I'm writing it down.
I feel
Well,
Mickey,
wait, what was your race again? Would you still be alive theoretically?
No.
Would you still be alive theoretically?
No. Kias was a human.
Look,
He
even
was
though
human.
it's confirmed, I still don't believe it.
I feel like
He was
Mickey
actually
is
just
the
a human.
concept- Mickey's the concept of pizza, and then Keith was like pineapple pizza, and then now we've got like a pepperoni pizza. It's still pizza, but with different toppings on it.
Hey, Mickey, go ahead. Tell us about Brother Mori.
I feel like Brother Mori would be now I want to do the question of what pizza is each character,
Yes.
because I maybe go like spicy Italian sausage for Brother Mori. I don't know why, but that's the vibe I feel for Brother Mori. But yeah, so Brother Mori is like a very kind of like, I don't want to say traditional, but kind of obvious. He is a divine soul sorcerer, Aasimar, which is kind of a really obvious combo. But I was looking, I don't know, with my characters, I always like to do something different, like a little away from the norm. So in the Eberron setting, there is a pantheon called the Blood of Vol, which essentially believes that your power comes from within, within your blood. Blood is life, all of that jazz. So the idea is to kind of bring that to Josh's world. However, I am an Aasimar, so I do actually have divine blood. So that's kind of the like, it could go either way. If Josh was like, you know what, we do want to bring the Blood of Vol in, and you are literally the first person that's starting this, I guess it'd be like a cult right now, but then it could be an established religion.
The difference between a cult and religion is just how many people are in there.
Yeah. See, there you go. So if you want to join the fundamentalist Church of the Blood of Vol, FLBV, I don't know. Wait, not L. That's FLDS. That's the Latter-day Saints people. It's a different cult.
Oh God.
Oh Jesus.
What? That is FLDS is a cult. Mormon is a religion.
Okay.
Again, it's just how many people. It's numbers. But anyways, the idea is Blood of Vol, which technically has, I believe, like an elf has sex with a dragon and then creates a child that has like magic blood, and that's how. So maybe Brother Mori's parents are a dragon and an elf that boinked. And
I think it'd be more like the Fundamentalist Church of Brother Mori.
yeah, it's probably more like it. But he was not always this, and it'll come out, I'm sure, at some point, because eventually we start asking everybody like, hey, what about your family? Who are you going back to? And then everyone's like, my family's dead and we have a tragic D&D backstory, and that's why I'm adventuring.
I'm an orphan.
I'm an orphan, and I grew up on the streets, and I'm in
a path of vengeance.
I killed my dad, and then he came back to life, and I had to kill him again as a ghost. And now,
What's like what
I'm a
normal,
ghost.
well-adjusted person is like, you know what? I'm gonna leave my house and go adventure, fight dragons and giant spiders and vampires and.
So he definitely has some tragedy in his past that somehow ended up with him being basically a cult, trying to start his own cult. He could potentially be a cult leader in his hometown, depending on how many people believed his message.
He's
doesn't-
convincing.
He is pretty persuasive, I will say that. And, you know, he would never tell anybody they have to follow him or like, you know, he believes you are wrong if you choose to believe in a god and follow a god and that, you know, whatever. He's like, you were wrong, you should follow me, but he'll never be like, if you don't follow me, you're gonna go to hell or whatever, you know. He's not gonna force his religion on him. I think I described him as a existential nihilist. So that's probably what he is.
Brother Mori is Keys 2.0.
Oh, he's not
No,
I saw Kias in Brother
sausage
Mori.
pizza. He's sausage pizza.
I saw Brother Mori. I saw Kias in Brother Mori when he was like, I want to hide behind a tree.
Hold on. Oh well. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh,
In his defense, he is just a preacher guy. Like, he's not going to be like, oh, these zombies are coming to life. I should just stand here and let them try to eat me. Like, he's going to react like a real person. Like
Like a
You know,
real person with magic fireballs.
well, like, I'm just saying, like, if me and Josh were like, oh my god, there's zombies, Josh is like, I'm brave and I'm 7 foot tall and I'm gonna run in and stab him with my bionic leg, and I'm gonna go, oh, I'm gonna hide behind this tree. So, like, see, people react differently.
That's true. Very true. Anthony, tell us about Fargus.
So Fargus is not nearly as complicated as the rest of you guys. My dude just so here's like some rough backstory. Is so Fargus is like on the older side. Like how old are your characters? Consciously, I guess Medic has only been around not all that long, but like, I think everybody else in the group is like fairly on the younger side.
Yeah.
Or at least in this-
Maury's late
It might be
20s.
like 2 years, maybe 3 years of conscious life.
Yeah, so I think Mr. Cavalian is the only one that's like close. But like, so Fargus is like 100 and something, like 100 plus. He kind of lost track, but we're like in the 120 range, give or take. And so he was around in the Great Forest before the fall of Silverguard and the cataclysms and whatnot. But he's from just a nature loving small group of furbogs, but he, long story short, kind of amidst the fall of Silverguard and all the death and decay and things that happened as a result of that, whereas everybody else was kind of like dismayed and had issues, like Fargus kind of loved it because it meant that the forest was reclaiming the land, the forests were getting bigger, civilization and the people that would see the forests chopped down and destroyed. From Lord of the Rings,
The Treants?
yeah,
Dance.
like Fargus is essentially the same motivations as a Treant. Like, he's good, but if you start fucking with nature, then now he's mad and now he's gonna overthrow Isengard. So his whole thing as a Furbog druid, that's like his shtick. He is as true middle neutral as you can get. Morality is not kind of death, all of those things. Like, what is it? Are you harming nature or are you helping nature? And that's where his lines of morality kind of get drawn. Where all the spores and becoming a spore druid, I've always wanted to play a druid, but I didn't want to go just the normal route of moon druid, because then, I mean, you cast a spell, you wild shape. It's effective, it's fun, Everybody loves it, but I really wanted to pick one of the more interesting subclasses. So I thought the Spores Druid was going to be a great time. And the way that I sort of worked that story in for him was he is really a big fan of like that cyclicality of nature. The things are alive, they die, they decay, and then they become new things. And he sees, you know, funguses and spores and things like that as a way to facilitate and kind of speed up that process. So he kind of sees himself as like an agent of nature, like an agent of decay, a catalyst for the renewal of nature.
Decay in a good way.
Decay in a good way, exactly. And you know, kind of where, you know, Brother Mori has his zombies, like Fargus can do that as well, and he often does and uses them to his own ends. But again, the whole thing is really just he wants to be sort of that agent for rebirth, but through the natural cycle of death and decay. And that's I mean, he doesn't have a dead family, had a great upbringing, no secret vengeance plan. He just has a very, very strong connection to nature, and it'll probably come out in the story. But you know, there are hands at work in this world we're starting to find those, and one of the hands at work in the world, whether he realizes it or not, has kind of been pushing him in the direction that he is to come help. And if he feels that pull from nature, then he's gonna follow it, because that's his whole, that's what he does. He doesn't know anything else. He has no ulterior motive. So that's when, you know, when he's looking for coins on himself, he's like, I misplaced my wagon. It's because like those things just don't really register for him. It's irrelevant.
How many wagons has Fargus lost?
I mean, over the 80 or so years that he's been slinging mushrooms, at least a dozen. Like at least there's somewhere out in the world, there's at least a dozen just wagons just overgrown with mushrooms and probably decayed to piles at this point, because like something comes up and he goes and does it. So he's the folk hero background, because he doesn't have a lot of strings attached when he likes to help. It's more, you know, if I can do something for you, can you promise that you're gonna perpetuate, you know, either growth or make nature better, or however you want to do it. So when he did the 8-hour plant growth, which was annoying for the whole party,
I thought it was cool.
It is what it is. It is what it is, man. And I think about how easy it's going to be for Brother Mori to sell people to come to this town now that they know that their crops are going to yield double.
Yield double. I guarantee your crops
Guarantee
will double their yield.
If not, you can have your money back.
M3's doing the math, and he's like 0 times 2 ...
No. It's anything that grows there for the next year doubles. So
yeah, have your you know, say that it's because of their blood. Fargus could give 2 shits what you tell him it's for. But that's the whole thing. So like, you know, there's farmers all over the place that he's traveled to, that he's sold to or helped, that, you know, he's done similar things for and used his prowess to kind of help. So that's his whole thing. Like if he can help nature out and protect it while at the same time, you know, helping decay the dead faster, that's all he wants to do.
So we, you know, as known arsonists, we need to just be careful about burning like nature
alleged
known arsonists.
Burn all the buildings. Ash is great fertilizer.
Phosphates, there you go.
Yeah, burn all the churches.
Just avoid the trees in the forest and we won't have a problem. Shape water, probably an X cantrip off the board for him.
I'm imagining Fargus, if he were to animate dead, I'm thinking Last of Us, where it's just fungus zombies.
So I haven't done it yet, but Josh and I talked about it. Flavor wise, like everything is kind of like spore related, and that's exactly kind of how it would participate and behave. And then next level, at level 6, I can use my reaction. If a humanoid or beast dies within 10 feet of me, I can use my reaction to animate it as a zombie on that same turn.
Oh, we're gonna have a big party now.
That's beasts too. That's cool.
Yeah, basically anything that's not like a weird, like I couldn't like reanimate a dragon zombie, but if it's humanoid or beats
Zombies.
Monstrous
it can be
creature,
yeah,
something like that.
And the
Yeah, like, I couldn't,
beholders, no, like
yeah, zombie beholder I think is actually in the book, and I don't think I get that.
No, that would be awesome though.
I don't think Josh is gonna let that happen.
I feel like all of us have kind of just naturally made these characters that are just okay with like death or like undeath, I guess, like the undead walking, because when Josh set up for campaign 2, he let us know like, hey, this is a darker world. The collapse of Silverguard or fall, whatever they're calling it. Like bad shit happened. Last campaign did not end on like sunshine and rainbows. Everybody's happy. So I feel like all of our characters were kind of brought up in a world that was kind of shitty. Or in M3's case, he left a really shitty world and then woke up in a really shitty world. So he's like, oh, guess the war didn't go too well.
technically it's less shitty than the one he went to sleep in.
Better.
Yeah, less shitty, more ignorant. That's the way he sees it.
Yeah, like there's not armies of demons and whatnot all the time, but there's some shitty stuff out there.
Yeah. So like it's just like all of our characters are just like naturally okay. Yeah, of course we could use a zombie as a pack mule, like, or have them push the cart. Like, duh. Like, it just makes life easier. Like,
M3's seen worse.
That was something so last campaign I wanted to give you guys like your quintessential fantasy world. Like pull it right out of any setting, and it's like magic and you have big cities and whatnot. And after the end of campaign 1, since it ended on a cliffhanger with we had some people with some medical stuff and life getting in the way.
I'm halfway through it, so
Well, it just kind of abruptly ended. The party just kind of dissolved. So it was like how I got the opportunity to kind of figure out how it would have ended, and because no one was there to oppose the big bad, with the destruction of Silverguard, the simple explosion that just decimated it, turned it into a crater. That central government that kept everything on its toes and everything in line fell apart, and kind of brought what would a magic-based world look like without that seed of power that keeps everything working smoothly. What would the world do? What would the cities do? You saw some big cities shrink, some small cities explode in population, and just it got a chance to get a little darker, and that's one of the things I told all these guys was, when you're building your character, this is a not a fun place. So
Leonard would not be happy.
No, I do have a question. Mickey, how did you come up with the celebrity zombie names? Like, what inspired that?
I don't know, probably like copious amounts of marijuana. I mean, don't do drugs. No. Yeah, I don't know. That was just like random, like spur of the moment, complete. Like, all right,
you didn't plan it. It wasn't like planned when you said like James Franco.
Not planned at all.
Yeah, that's okay. That's really cool.
That was spur. This is James Franco, and then but then from that moment on, I was like, well, shit. Now I'm gonna need to name
now that's what it is.
Every undead,
every undead. That's clearly a Brother Maury thing that I did not plan out in advance.
Do you have like a list of names now? Because now you woke in two, so you needed like a pair, and you just came out with like these.
Well, yeah, because I figured they're two and they're skeletons, so I figured they look exactly alike, so I went twins. I mean, the meta magic is called twin, But if I keep doing that, then I'm gonna run out real quick.
If he does like a whole family of undead, are you gonna name them the Kardashians?
I think it just depends on literally
what your mood is.
So far I've done it twice, and both times the name has come completely spur of the moment. So we'll see. I figure at one point if I twin it, I will run because like off the top of my head I can only think of like one more set of twins.
Hold on, what set of twins? What's the other set of twins you can think of?
Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Now hold on, if you want to dip into sports, you can do Venus and Serena.
Oh, Venus and Serena.
Oh.
I was thinking I could do like one named Lindsay and one named Lohan. So like, it's like
what is it?
Parent
Cole,
Trap.
the Sprouse brothers, Cole and
Cole and Nicole Sproul, yeah.
Oh wait, who were the twins? But it was just one guy, right? In the Social Network.
I don't know.
Wasn't it just one guy?
Oh no, those are real
my God.
people.
Yeah,
The Winklevosses. The Winklevosses.
Winklevoss twins.
Those are real people. They're
Yeah,
actual
but-
investors. Yeah.
But the actor, it was one actor played both of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, he played one, and then they replaced. He played the other one, and then they did like a head replacement on the other actor.
Digital,
Yeah,
So yeah, he
like
did both of them.
Yeah. He's F now somewhere.
Yeah, what is it? Cole? I don't know the other
Bahamas.
Sprouse brother, but there's another set for you.
I'm not gonna remember that.
Me neither.
Well, I do see now. The one that's gonna stick now is the Lindsay and Lohan, and
Or Zac and Efron.
I'm thinking the Parent Trap because she
Yeah.
played twins.
Yeah.
in the Parent Trap.
Oh,
Tom and
Now I'm just
Hardy.
gonna have to-
Tom Hardy.
He played.
Tom
He
and
played.
Jerry.
No, Tom Hardy played the twins
He did
in.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legend.
Anyway,
So yeah, well, maybe I'll just like taper it back a little to like famous duos.
it could be.
If you're
If you
making
could get
zombies, it's
three-
great that you're making zombies.
If you could
Nicolas
get,
Cage also played a
if you
twin
could
in the
get three, you
movie.
could get Larry, Moe, and Curly. That's the old.
That'd be funny.
I mean, I can easily get three now. If I literally after this combat, I could get a third one.
They just walk around
Next.
bonking each other and poking each other in their dead eyes.
My worry is, and we haven't had to deal with this yet, is eventually they can break free of my control, and then we just.
I don't know how much I'm worried about that, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I mean James Franco was kind of stupid.
I mean, yeah, they're not super powerful or anything, but if I don't manage things correctly, like that's 100% on me, right? It's not on Brother Maury because I am brother, like it's on me to be like, oh shit, I need to cast a spell on these zombies again, especially the twinned one, which means I either need the sorcery points or the spell slots.
Mhm.
One of them's probably getting out sooner rather than later.
Who knows? Tia and Tamara might be really, really strong skeletons. Okay, you don't know.
Yeah, best thing to do, I guess, is if you don't really want to blow the points or the spells to keep them both animated, just have them fight to the death and keep
Fight to. We're gonna have tryouts.
and you throw a bone in there,
Throw a bone.
break a bone, throw
Yeah,
it in there.
snap a bone. In half.
I could just my
have
fear
tryouts.
is that you guys are gonna have bags of skeletons, and you're just gonna throw one out and animate it and like a Pokeball, but a bag full of bones.
So that actually leads me to a question that I have for you, Josh.
I choose you, femur.
So between me and Mickey, what are your intentions or plans for dealing with just the obscene action economy that we're gonna? By the time I can make zombies myself, plus the ability to conjure animals, plus I'm assuming at some point Mickey's just army of zombies.
Okay, I have a couple plans for that. One, anti-magic zone. They all drop dead. Another one, legendary actions. And like the thing for me as a DM though is I get to build more and more powerful monsters the stronger I let you guys get. So that's why I'm not like, you know, no, I don't hoard the magic items. I don't, you know, like get strong, guys, because I got some stuff.
I got some things I want to do to you.
Yeah, like, you know, like you want to fight 12 beholders? You fight 12 beholders. You talk about action economy? Like
Let's cut down a little bit there.
I mean, eventually.
Into a giant pit trap. Whoop.
Yeah, I mean, if it really gets bad, I just give you guys a hole. We all saw what happened last campaign.
We don't know how to do. We don't know how to handle that.
We don't
Make it 5 feet deeper than you can teleport out of, and boom, it's a 2-hour thing.
Fuck, if we only had rope.
Only we had rope. No, if only of us passed one athletic check.
That is true. You guys did
all the failed. Yeah.
You lived up to the name with all the failed athletics checks, and it was rough.
Yeah, that was about as botched could get.
I will say it is nice having like the stronger monsters and stuff thrown at you. Like especially last campaign, didn't we fight like a Deva or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys fought 2 dragons on a hit and run style, which was nice.
Yeah. It does. Yeah, it leads to like fun combat. Like those were really fun combat scenarios.
Yeah, it also gives me a chance to balance like strong enemy, group of weak enemies, rather than just having one guy that's just, because it's hard to balance one guy against 6 of you.
Yeah, especially when you have that ability to like throw zombies and stuff as meat shields at it, because he still has to use actions to deal with them, regardless of if he one turns them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it becomes a little monotonous, I think, when it's just you guys against one guy, because then it's he does his thing, and then it's like everybody lines up and hits him, and then he does his thing again, and then it seems to get a little stale where I can give you guys the bigger groups and then see how you tactic it out.
Yeah, that's
cool. And then we haven't had a proper horde yet.
No. I mean, you did just get your hand stuck in a zombie pocket, so
yeah.
Oh, horde.
Yes. Yeah. Horde. He's already had the other thing.
Yeah.
Keith's 100% writing it down.
Keith's had the mother of all.
It was an experience.
Let me ask you that, Mickey. How did it feel getting that twist as Keys?
That was, I mean, Mickey loved it. Keys, it changed him. That would have.
That was life altering.
Yeah. That changes a person. Starts to question, like, maybe I shouldn't be sleeping around.
Maybe I'll get engaged to the princess.
Yeah. Maybe it will. Like, all right, first off, he's, gonna try to marry up, right? Like, come on. Like, he may want to settle down, but that doesn't mean he wants to settle down with, like, the toothless prostitute at the, pork chop stand or whatever it was. Pork sliders, or, It's like, all right, like, let's at least, go for a princess. But Brother Maury, if you zoomed in on the mini, does have a wedding band on. So
what? I'd never noticed that.
Yeah, he has a wedding band, and
you can't see it in the picture.
Well, I know, because his hand it's like the perfect angle where you wouldn't be able to see it. So sorry. I should have. If we get into Tailspire, you can zoom in and spin the camera angle, and he's got a wedding band on. And Kies, all of his family was alive. No one was dead in Kies's family. So yeah, like no. See, look, we don't have to have. Oh, my parents are dead, and I have to go avenge them, or live on the streets. Is
I don't even know
Arvad?
who his parents were. They were just
Well,
somebody.
They were alive. They were the Sum family in some
Kias
house
didn't know,
on
but
some
Mickey
street.
knew.
Mickey. They had names.
Do you want to tell them Kias' real name?
Oh man,
Yes,
I have to
that's
pull it up.
Yeah, that's all over.
I believe it was it Victoro?
Yep. It was the missing noble that everyone was searching for.
Yeah. He was the missing noble for
Oh,
sure. That was. I mean, I knew it as soon as like, oh, missing posters. I'm like, hey, that's me.
Let's not look for him at all.
I knew. Kias didn't know. Kias was like, I don't give a shit about this dude. Like, unless you gonna pay me, like, hey, maybe we make some money.
There was a bounty.
Then he's out searching for himself.
See, I had a really fun thing for that because my idea was that, because I figured, what's Kias gonna do? He's gonna be like, poof, I look like him. Let me go collect my reward money. But that was the one person Kias wouldn't have been able to turn into.
Yeah. Oh, that is smart. Yeah. 'Cause he can't look like himself.
Right.
I am
part.
curious to see, like, in this new campaign era, like, what little things behind are going to be leading into or connected between campaign 1 and 2. Like, we're in the gold fields, which is where Tolan came from, and then let's see like what the other connections, what other strings are attached to our past, our previous characters.
I want to know if Arvod's parents are alive.
Yes,
See-
they are.
Oh, see,
They are.
yeah.
And not only that, I have 27 brothers and sisters.
Oh,
They were
Wow.
really busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's prolific.
hold on.
All demons or
Eat, sleep, sex. Eat, sleep, sex.
Did you write down the names of all your 27 brothers and sisters?
No, but I should.
I'm gonna need that list.
If I did. But my mom, my mother, she took care of my 27 brothers and sisters. She told me to live with this man that was gonna teach me, with this minstrel that was gonna teach me the accordion, and I'm gonna bring some money to the family because we were not of means, but
Then he just
we worked
left.
here and there. No, and he died, and I'm on a journey with a goal that I hope it comes up in this story, but
It will.
but I'm still in that journey, like I'm not like super old, it happened a few years ago, and now I'm still sending money whenever I can travel back to my hometown.
When
I
you
send
sell your
money and
books.
I sell my books.
Union.
Western Union. I send them like a big fat check with like birds.
What?
They're alive. My father, he guards animal farms. They're all human.
So
Your
you
family is
animal
human.
guard?
Yeah, mostly.
Mostly.
I mean, definitely at least somebody in your family tree is not human. Are you adopted?
No.
That's
something that'll come up later.
That's part of the development. Yeah, I'm just throwing hints. Like,
Is your
I
name
hope we don't
Ollie?
like. No, it is Arban. Yeah. For now.
Is that
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Alejandra, right? That was her orphan. Was it Ollie?
Yeah.
Ollie.
Yeah.
Ollie.
Ollie. Ollie.
But yeah, like I didn't want to have the tragic story either because I've seen it. I've seen it in the videos. I've been like, oh, that's a boring story. There's like ways to spice it up, make it more interesting. If there are different goals than just vengeance or like, oh, I'm gonna find my missing father or stuff like that. There are other things that I think a character can have that are more like, oh, they're cooler or unexpected. Like, oh shit, I didn't expect that. That's actually really cool. And that are even more a little like mundane goals that can then be transformed into like a bigger
Kias
goal.
had a really good goal in the last campaign. Kias had, I'm gonna party my way across this planet. I mean, Leonard had a good one too. Leonard was like, I'm just gonna go. I'm bored at home. I'm just going. I don't want to be at home anymore.
Bored. Just bored.
Walking out the door, find recipes, Well, he was
Don't-
divinely inspired.
Don't let people trick my brother into thinking Alejandro wants to sleep with him.
Symbols.
Kias ended up on a really good goal of becoming God King.
True. Since we are
No
talking
problem.
about different campaigns, I think Mickey, you should probably make the announcement.
Oh yeah, announcement. I love good announcement.
Hold on, I'm doing the drum roll. With my knee. With my
Your knee.
femur. With my femur.
So next Tuesday, not this coming up Tuesday, August 2nd, and then for the next 4 to 6 Tuesdays, I'm going to be DMing a Spelljammer campaign right here on this channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which is what, 5:30 for you
Yeah.
West Coast folks? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's like, oh my gosh, that's the hardest part of any D&D campaign is like finding the time that works for everyone.
And that's
yeah.
5:30 in Spanish. A three would say.
Cinco tres.
So let's-
something.
Let's show the video, and then we'll give them some more information.
Wild Space, the next frontier. These are the voyages of the Spelljammer Academy. Their ongoing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life forms and new civilizations, to boldly go where few have been before, surviving the perils of wild space and beyond.
I like the voiceover.
All right, we're back.
Hello.
Ooh.
Just catching me watching it on stream.
Yeah, like,
Watching his own creation. So, Mickey, why don't you tell them about the players in this campaign?
Yeah, so one, our lovely DM, oh, you're this way. Josh is going to be a player in the campaign, which is
Nice.
exciting. That's one of the like main reasons to do that too, is like Josh DMs for us all the time, and you hear about Forever DM, so at least he gets a small chance to be a player. So I'm excited for that.
Whatever DM makes for a grumpy DM.
Yeah. So
I don't mind.
You know what?
I don't mind.
He gets to be a player for a little bit. Brother Maury gets a Bloodwell vial. It's a nice trade. You know, just really, really nice trade off behind the scenes there.
So what about the other players?
Other players, Arvad not playing Arvad, Ariel playing somebody.
yeah. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
All right.
I had a busy week, but it'll be done. It'll be done, and it'll be awesome.
This way, Jake is going to be in the campaign. Jake.
So I will be playing a thug bear. That's what I'm going to call it.
A thug bear.
Thug
A
bear.
thug bear.
Thug bear, keep it real. And then we have some new people that you'll have to tune in to see. You might also see them on the TikToks if you peruse through there, but we'll have some new people that you got to tune in. Tuesdays, 6:30 or 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern.
Starting August.
Spelljammer. August 2nd. Spelljammer. It's I'm actually just running the Spelljammer Academy adventure that D&D Beyond is putting out for free. So thank you, D&D Beyond. Not sponsored, but would gladly be sponsored.
Since we brought up the characters we're playing, I'm bringing a character, an NPC straight from the campaign into the Spelljammer campaign. So check him out in Spelljammer. You
Oh,
met.
you're playing an NPC?
I'm playing one of the NPCs that
That
you
are
guys
in
will
our
meet.
campaign. That we haven't
That was
met
going to
yet.
be my next question. We haven't met them yet.
No, I have a handful of NPCs that I that just go from campaign to campaign, straight family
say-
lineage.
In campaign 1, we definitely met this person's like grandfather, great grandfather.
It would be. I don't know what it would be. It was definitely someone else in his life, but you will meet this person later in life in the campaign.
They shockingly, all his family lineage sounds exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. They all have the same name. Like, we're on like the 42nd or something like that.
Oh, that would be a fun running joke. It'd be like the 3rd, and then another campaign, the 4th.
They just introduce themselves with their first name.
Though I actually had this conversation in real life. I don't think I've ever met anybody that was like, I'm, Josh the 7th.
Not today, in today's day and age. My cousin is a 3rd.
I mean, all right. 3rd.
I've had students. I've had a student that was a 3rd in his family line.
Yeah, but see, I'm talking like I'm Henry the 8th.
I want like a Josh the 14th.
Yeah. I've like 3 deep is the biggest I've ever seen. I'm like, come on, I want to meet somebody that's like.
That's between you and whoever you meet, Mickey.
Yeah, dude.
That's
3 is the most. I'd like to get 4, but only ever gotten 3.
That's a lot.
Sorry about your limitations, Mickey.
I mean, like at that point, you're using everything.
I go 3 deep. Yeah, girl. Just saying, I want to meet somebody in real life that's like, yeah, hi, I'm Jake the 8th. Like, oh, it's awesome.
That'd be so cool, though.
I say that, but then I have no plans on making my potential offspring
Mickey the 2nd.
Mickey the 3rd.
But like, what's your follow up to that? Like, what's your okay, so you walk up to somebody. Okay, let's say, okay, you meet me. Hey, I'm Anthony the 14th. Nice to meet you. What's the next thing that you say to that person? What is your follow up to meeting your dream of meeting somebody like that?
I mean, I follow them around for the rest of the night, wanting to know everything about them and their family history.
Okay, no, if that's your genuine level of commitment, then I accept it. I just wanted to make sure you had a plan.
Oh, hell yeah! Oh my gosh, you need to tell me everything.
The
Everything.
13th, 12th, 10th, 11th.
Like,
Who was the
Which one was
first?
the one that
Who was the
one likes to
first?
talk about?
Who's the progenitor of this?
Well, because that also means you need to have 14 generations that all had male heirs, and because like if you just have daughters, then you're not continuing on.
What if
Like
the
Henry
daughter
the 8th?
name is Henry the 13th?
Could be.
Well, we currently have
That's
an Elizabeth. We currently have an Elizabeth II, and as for like Henry VIII and stuff, as I recall,
Well,
they
those
weren't
are-
direct descendants.
Those are
Well-
taken names, though. When you get into
Yeah, those
royal
are-
family, those are like taken. Like your name is something else, and when if you become the queen, you take a name like popes.
I was trying not to use. I know I said Henry once, but I was trying to use other names to not be like, oh, like a royal family. But I mean, like just dude on the street, like you're at a party, and like, oh hey, Mickey, this is my friend Tony the 7th.
Although that would be an interesting like secondary response if someone said they're Anthony the 14th. I'd be asking like, are you royalty? Are you of noble
So
lineage?
did your grandma bang a dragon? Like,
It's matter of fact, the Italian dragon was his nickname.
I'm just saying. That's good. Josh,
Gave her that rigatoni.
I have set you up that if you want to make dragon sex a thing in your universe, it can be a thing.
so here's the thing that I think people oft forget is dragons can polymorph into humanoids.
Yep.
So
Zeus.
like you don't know, this could just be happening all the time. Like, hey, like some guy leaves to go away and he comes home early and that's not really him, and then it's like boom, oh the kid's a dragon blood sorcerer, and then the real dad comes back and is like, how'd this happen?
Yep.
There's no dragon blood in my family anywhere.
I'm just saying some of the names I consciously chose are from Blood of Vol lore for people in Maury's backstory.
Okay.
There's also somebody in Maury's backstory, like in his life, that had the name Amara, which is a nice callback to a campaign 1, just in name. But that
So, speaking of setting wise, do you guys have any questions for me? For things I can reveal?
How big has the Great Forest gotten?
Big. It's still great.
Is it?
But like,
great
how
color?
how much is it really, like, percentage wise, since the fall of Silverguard? How much
Oh,
is it
you're gonna make me open this up.
Would you say-
there'd be less.
No. Just
tree
answer
chopping.
quickly so that it's canon, without
It-
referencing
It
anything.
has gotten bigger.
more than 18 inches.
The forest is
Is that
definitely more than 18 inches bigger.
Like wider.
Just
We're talking
bigger.
like girth of the forest.
Yeah. Girth.
A
Wow.
lot of wood.
It's a girthy forest.
Very girthy forest. Let's see. It's definitely gotten bigger. I think the big thing, the Great Forest hasn't expanded as much as the smaller forests that were around Stormhaven and Seas Call. Those where they had been kind of pushed back and made into farmland and more of a plains. That's really where the forest has grown. So like the Great Forest has grown a bit, but that other stuff is that you guys that had traveled in campaign 1 had traveled through, that was, you know, mostly open plains with sparse trees. Those have become heavy wooded areas.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map comparison right now, and yeah, I see it.
Any other questions?
Does
Did
Fargus
C-
know that?
I haven't seen map
Yes.
1.
Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be a nice surprise for him.
No,
I wasn't
Fargus.
sure how
Fargus
soon that
watched a lot of that grow up, you know, because it's. I mean, some of the growth in here is 80 years old-ish. You know, people stop being able to hold back the uncivilized or the untamed wilds, and it just began to encroach and push forward. And one of the big things is once that I talked about it earlier, once that central government kind of faltered and fell, a lot of the small towns stopped receiving aid. So when a town that's only like, you know, 5 or so families stops receiving aid, stops receiving trade shipments, they run out of food, they run out of tools, and then eventually either move or starve. Or get, you know, eaten by things from the forest that are also starving. And then pretty soon that their town is just taken over by the forest. And that's, you know, part of that darker world, but that's the nature just pushing back on a unprepared group of people. Any other questions?
Wait,
Good.
did you say Sea Skull got like fucked too?
It's not fucked. It's
Okay.
the forest
Forest
around it is pushed against it.
Big. Yeah. Harder for them to take things from the sea and bring them into the land.
Did the guys from like the campaign 1, did they travel through the whole world that you created, or no? There
No.
were parts that are no.
I will tell you that Talaria is the name of the planet, and it's also the name of one of the continent that they are on. It is not the only continent.
Yep, campaign 1, they're about to travel to a different one. To a different
No,
continent.
that's part of the same continent, actually.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
same landmass. Interesting.
So what you're saying is that we should just derail the whole campaign.
That
find
we
the
could just
ocean,
take a
hop
ship
on a
and-
boat.
I mean, you
Let's
can.
sail west, guys.
You-
What's west of Westeros?
Westeros.
Is this whole
Westeros,
world?
Easteros.
Are all continents dark and bad like the one we are in?
Mhm.
Don't know. We'll have to go and see.
I don't know if John.
Could ask questions.
We can sail west looking for spices. Then, you know, if we run into any indigenous people, we could just murder them all and take the whole continent for ourselves.
Call it America.
Wow. I mean, true, but wow.
I mean, true.
Yeah.
Listen.
Boy.
Everything has been founded on conquering. So,
Yeah.
Oh God, that is true.
It is true.
What a dark way of thinking about the world.
if you just back the whole way up in human history, we had to conquer everything, and this is what we do.
Pretty much.
So yeah, back to
Josh did say it was darker times, so
I have a question about the guy we literally just saw at the end of last session.
Okay. Which one? You saw 3.
The
4.
important guy.
Okay.
The guy that was yelling.
The book guy.
The book guy.
Okay.
Come on.
The librarian.
The guy. All right.
The potential, mini boss or big bad guy. Is he somebody from campaign 1? Like, was he talked about in campaign 1? Or is he completely new guy?
Ooh. That is a really good question that I how do I want to say it? He is from campaign 1, but he is not the same.
Okay. Oh. All right, that's intriguing then. It's like, because I feel like we are all up in some Tullen backstory right now, because we're just in his.
Nope. I mean, yes and no.
Yes, we're all in his neck of the woods and dealing with people with very similar names to bad dudes in his past. And
So I will say this: the entire party had run-ins with this person.
ooh,
So it's not like I pulled from any particular backstory and threw it in. It is not Lionel the Bright, if that's who you're thinking it was. Although I did tie why he's there to campaign 1, so
I'm gonna throw this out there. Just gonna put it out there. Did he have his heart torn out?
no.
Okay.
No. It's not, it wasn't him.
That's not a Flying Dutchman situation where we're looking for a chest with a heart in it.
No. No. It's so with the fall of Silverguard, and I'll go over this because Fargus, was close enough, and it's kind of common knowledge for all the players. So with the fall of Silverguard, the final battle between the unit and the benefactor trying to do what he was doing happened at the castle in Silverguard, and in doing so, some magics that were way too above their pay grades were set off, and the entirety of Silverguard was basically cratered. There's some ruins in there, but it almost looks like the castle itself, ruins are there, but pretty much everything else looks like it was just kind of destroyed.
Okay. Let's take bets now then. Who triggered that amongst the unit? My money's on Alejandra. No counter bets.
I mean,
I know who did it.
I was gonna Josh isn't allowed to bet, so
Yeah.
could have been Kias.
if I was a betting man, I'd say whoever Josh thinks it did it.
I would bet that the unit, the reason the entire continent is there is because the unit did not set it off. They did everything they could to keep it from being set off. They died as heroes, great heroes.
Then Kias was resurrected as a Southern Baptist preacher.
The only way
crazy.
people outside of Silverguard knew what happened was because Leonard kept calling his mom, updating her.
Mom,
Man,
Cash, Mom. More iron shrooms.
but yeah. So this definitely was someone that was from campaign 1 that didn't get their resolution. You guys all had run-ins with. And so you guys, I think you'll like the way the story went with him, because I did kind of transfer his knowledge the whole way back.
Is it Captain D?
It is not.
Wait,
We're just gonna go through the entire list of NPCs.
hold on, no. I'm asking a campaign 1 question now because I want. Was Captain D a bad guy?
No.
No, not. Oh man, I had such like. He's a bad dude. 5.
Captain D was the purest of the pure.
See, that's why Kias like couldn't go for him, because he's like, this guy is too goody.
Bad boy
Like,
status.
There's no way it. Yeah, it's just like nah. He needed a little bad boy. You know,
Or bad girl.
yeah.
I have a question, Josh, for you. So
All right.
So for like a campaign like this, like how far have you have pre-planned?
Ooh,
How
that's a
far out
tough
do you
question.
plan? Or do you wait for us to do certain things that change like what you have pre-planned, or?
Because I know our first conflict with Leon was not pre-planned. We're like, we're gonna take the fight to the gate, and he's like,
He was
what?
like, oh no, let me use whatever action so you can stop me from moving. I was like, oh,
Theater
this
of
guy.
mind time, folks.
Yeah, that's where it
I'm
gets
wondering-
tough.
Just in terms of like story-wise, like do you have like a lot of it in pre-planned?
I've been DMing a long time, so I kind of come up with like a small story arc, you know, that's gonna last 1 or 2 sessions, maybe 3. In terms of like getting to Leon, that was something I had planned. I didn't know how fast you'd get there, but I kind of planned that you were eventually going to have to take down this vampire. So I kind of let you guys dictate how you guys get there. If you guys had decided to like go left instead of going right and head to Pudmit, you would have encountered him on the road, and it would have been a different fight for you guys. But I kind of come up with like a general idea, like this is the encounter I want you guys to have. How you guys have it is up to you. I wanted to introduce to you the group that you just ran into. So, I mean, I gave you the chance to go to the ruins and you guys went, but I did have a couple other ideas that you guys could have used, that could have happened later to introduce these guys to you. So I kind of have an idea that I want the story to go kind of a little bit like this. But at the same time, I just kind of let you guys go and kind of put stuff in your way.
So is it more like open world? Like if we didn't want to go to the ruins and we went with like these people to some or somewhere else, or say fuck it, we're gonna go somewhere else, would have just have that story first and then these ruins, or you would sort of like manage it so we would have end up sort of like in the ruins for this arc that you had planned?
No, if you guys had decided to go somewhere else, I view the world as like a living thing. So if you guys hadn't gone to the ruins, what they were doing would still be getting done. And then you would have to deal with the ramifications of that later. It's kind of like, you know, if you catch him early, you get, you know, you might be able to hinder him a little bit later. But if he's doing something else and you're focused on, you know, another side quest, you're running to do this, he's still doing things behind the scenes, amassing power or doing whatever it is. There's always stuff happening. If you guys decide you want to go fight these monsters living in this thing to protect a town, there's other things going on that you could have done. So it's kind of like everything. I kind of build the world around you in an area and say they're here. If they go here, they're going to see this. If they go here, they're going to see this. If they go here, they're going to see this, and kind of let you pick and dictate. And then once you get there, and you guys, now I kind of build a circle around that. So if you guys go back to the town, it's going to act like this. If you guys go deeper, there's this. If you guys decide to do something else, here's a couple ideas that may happen if you guys go somewhere else.
I don't know who in the audience remembers these, but choose your own adventure books.
Yes.
I remember growing up with those.
Oh,
Man,
those are the
things were
best.
awesome.
I love them. I still have some of them too.
But it's
So
go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, like, it's also kind of like a really easy DM trick, especially if you're new to DMing and like aren't comfortable with building out an entire world and like this is what's going on while this is going on. And you want your like you don't want to railroad your players, but you want them to meet this group of people. Josh mentioned this. There's several ways that you could end up meeting these group of people. You could be doing your perception check at night and you see a campfire and all of a sudden they're all around a campfire that if we went west and this was supposed to be east and it's like, oh, well, all of a sudden now they're at a campfire on the west. Or even, you know, while walking through, you see some ruins off to your left. You just happen upon them. That doesn't mean the party's going to go there, but like, you could just kind of keep putting that out there, and eventually the party is gonna bite on one of those and go, let's go check out that campfire. Like we're camped close. Let's see. And like there's bodies all around, and all of a sudden
I'm gonna put my hand in a pocket.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All of a sudden we're in the exact same situation we are now. It's just
Right.
west, but in, you know, not east.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest lines I've ever heard is that every campaign is a railroad. It's just how well you hide the tracks. Because coming up with the story, every DM has an idea of the story. You know, you want to take the story from A to B, and you want to let the players do a lot. So if they pick a track, you just let them go down it, and you just kind of line that up from there. If they decide to turn on to a different set of tracks, you just kind of let them go from there. So it's just a matter of like, once they start the ball rolling, you just have to follow it and kind of keep it on enough of a hill to let it roll.
Is there stuff from like campaigns that you've done that like players didn't bite or didn't, that you wanted them to, and that you're like, ah, shit, this didn't happen?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
I think the first time we were in the mausoleum, there's that one last door, and we just totally decided not to do it. Although M3 wanted to open it, but we just didn't. We just left it alone.
I mean, so that door was going to be locked regardless. If you guys had gone to it early, it was going to kind of be that, yeah. But at the same time, I wanted that to be like a hook that you guys wanted to go back and check out at some point. Depending on how everything had gone at the church, you guys may have found it then. I could have dropped the hook for it then. But I ended up waiting and letting you guys get a little more into the world and get a little more RP in before you guys went up against the vampire, which I think worked out well for you guys. But like, players throw wrenches and everything. Like, I fully expected Leon to be like a dialogue encounter and then bamf back to the mausoleum where you fought him at full power, and didn't die in the first round. But I mean, plans change. You guys ended up fighting him once, and then he barely escaped. And when I say barely, I mean vampires have the ability to turn into mist if they're not killed in their resting space. So that's what happened to him. And then I thought you guys were gonna let him just be paralyzed for a while.
And then we just said, nope, we're going today.
Well, I'm glad you figured it out, because I was like, yeah, he's still like not disintegrating. So you can drag him out in the sunshine, which worked.
After we peed on him.
Yeah, after you peed on him.
So that's the vampire kink, you know. We don't kink shame.
No, we do not.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing. I throw a hook out there and see if you bite it. And I try to another big thing for all you DMs out there is, if you're not building an entire world on Tailspire or on a battle map, try to do it halfway through toward the end of your sentence, so whenever they do go for it, or end of your session, that way when they do go for it, you have time at the between sessions to build the map.
like ruined towers.
Mhm. I still can't get it the way I want it, but it is
I was
what
about
it
to
is.
say, did you figure out how to make that tilted tower?
Kinda. It not well, but it's there.
To stick with like the fishing metaphor for getting your players to kind of do what they want, like you know, throwing the bait out. The other big thing with being a DM, and you kind of learn this over time, not as a DM, but just with your group, is if you're gonna take that method, you got to know what type of bait to throw. Like, if you're like, oh, there's some ruins over there, not every group is gonna go, let's go check them out. Like, some of them are more focused on like their objectives, so you can't always be subtle. Maybe you have a night encounter with some bandits or someone on the road, and in searching the bodies, because that group has a rogue, so the bodies will be searched, they find a note that says the shipment's going to be late to the wherever. You have to know what bait to throw, because they're not gonna, if you're just like giving little hints here and there, but you really need them to do it to kind of advance your story. Like Josh said, if you want to kind of unbury those rails, you have to give them something that's enticing to the character.
There's
like,
gonna be a box of gold there.
There's a box of gold there, or have a townsperson tell Fargus that someone's chopping down trees. Like, hey group, like we got somewhere to be.
They're just burning all the mushrooms in a big pile.
Burning the mushrooms.
Fargus is like, I'm there.
Guys,
There's a
I gotta go.
brothel this way. No.
That was Kias.
Brothel?
Yeah.
The puckered tulip is this way.
The puckered tulip.
It's my
Did the
favorite
puckered
brothel.
tulip survive the apocalypse?
Oh my god.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
It's just ruins, and then like one business is like bumping, like, oh, pucker tulip.
There's like lights just like flashing out the windows.
No, my god, no. What was that movie with George Clooney with the vampires?
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, Dusk Till Dawn. It's the bar from Dusk Till Dawn, where like all around it is just a hellscape, and it's just this bar that's bumping.
Man, we gotta go to that like, you see an endless hellscape, and then big disco lights blinking, like from one building.
You see the
Like the
sign has a
spotlight.
big flower on it, and it reads the puckered tulip.
It's not puckering. It's now past tense. It's puckered.
The puckered tulip.
Yeah.
The blown out tulip.
And there's one really old lady in there that's like, I remember my night with God King Kias.
Oh, good old God King Kias.
That was before he was God King Kias. Back then he was just regular Kias.
He was 32nd Kias.
He went round after round, but he had to prestidigitate it every time.
Unclean. Out, damn spot. Out.
Oh, jeez.
That was Kias's Lady Macbeth story arc. All right, that was.
I mean, Kias, that was a rough one for me to DM. We all have those moments.
I mean, that just makes me feel like, all right, so like Dungeons and Dragons isn't like a game of winning and losing, but like that really makes me feel like I won as a player, you know?
And I definitely lost as a DM. It wasn't bad.
know.
I mean, that wasn't the first encounter Kias had
Oh, no.
with the sisters.
Oh,
An
yeah.
encounter of another kind.
Hey, you know,
Oh,
sometimes you gotta make your DM ERP with you. It's just a way of life, you know.
sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
I will say Brother Maury will not try to fornicate with any sisters.
I've already
or
come up. I've already
prostitutes.
noticed that with Brother Maury's backstory, there will be no fornication.
No
Yeah,
fornication.
You say that until you start drinking some of the Fargus mushroom tea. Then all bets are off. I did not expect Mr. Cavalian to play into that as much as he did, and I loved it.
Yeah, and then the bird went along with it. Their pet bird.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
Tweeter was
doing?
not talking to him.
Nope.
100%.
I don't know why he keeps trying to talk to this bird. That I can speak bird. That bird is not talking to him. What is wrong with this
Guys,
guy?
I'm gonna let you know that that's not real.
That bird was not real.
And then he
The people
failed his
who were
con
watching
save.
the stream were hallucinating the bird. That's how good our special effects are.
The bird is a lie.
That said, even though I had just drugged him, I'm surprised he turned down the opportunity for an eagle ride to get a bird's eye view to map the area.
Yeah.
I think it was because you had just drugged him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah.
sober Cavalian would have been like, yes.
I
dark and
don't
brooding, I
think-
would've been
I
like,
also
yes.
definitely didn't make it clear out of the gate that they were conjured eagles that obeyed my commands, not wild eagles that I just knew.
Hey, Eagle Bro, you want to just fly up in the air and just...
I'd assume that I'd have met some giant eagles in the Great Forest here and there. They understand common. Like, they have their own language and they
Eagle,
speak common.
bro. Are all
Uh,
eagles named Chad? So,
What's up, Chad?
Chad.
Sup, eagle, bro?
like, bro, you don't even lift, do you, bro?
Your mightiness is looking very winged today.
Bro.
Bro.
I can carry like your entire party on my back. Let's go. Oh, I'm a great eagle, bro.
Caw, motherfucker, caw.
Screech. Man, that said, if we ever need to be anywhere in a hurry, I will just conjure 8 giant owls and have them carry us.
Lord of the Rings moment.
Oh, just wait till you get up and then the things that eat you out of the sky can see you.
Oh no.
Featherfall.
There will be
Featherfall.
two extra. Yeah, that's actually Fargus is now that he's had that idea. Fargus is now looking for a ring of Featherfall.
Do those exist in this world? I don't know.
or an immovable rod. There's never been a D&D campaign in my life I've not searched for an immovable rod. I just want one. I want it.
They
What is
actually
that?
made that a spell with the Graviturgy magic.
What is it? What does it do?
It
Immovable
makes
rod
a
is-
object immovable.
Yeah, the spell does. The
Yeah,
immovable rod is just a rod with a button on the end. When you click it, it holds still in like interdimensional space,
Yeah.
and it can't
You
be
just drop
moved.
it?
Yeah,
You know,
you are.
it's relative to the objects around it, because if it just held still in interdimensional space, it would literally just freeze
Tear a
and
hole
smash
through
through
the
the wall and through that. Yeah, just gone.
Because the planet would be spinning. 'Cause
Instant.
the world-
And anything holding on to it would be in space in like a half a second, praying a Spelljammer ship came by.
Yeah, wait, what is science teacher Jake? What is the effect of like it's like a fly on an airplane
Right.
moving it.
They both have the same momentum.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
a geosynchronous transition.
Geosynchronous.
That's why they talk
good
about
science word.
what is it? Speed in relative terms a lot of time. Because relative to the Earth, we're going this fast, but relative to the Sun, we're going a different speed. Relative to the center of the galaxy, a whole different speed.
That's why there was that line in the movie The Martian. Rocket scientists don't talk about speed because it's all dependent upon what you're comparing it to. Are we talking about compared to another car next to you, or compared to the telephone pole?
Yeah, if you and I are sitting next to each other in a car and we're both driving at 60 mile an hour, relatively there's no speed between us.
Right. And then
Or yeah, that's like the bug in your car is only going the speed of the bug, but it's actually in a car going 60 miles an hour.
right,
So,
On a
like,
planet that's spinning.
Yeah.
so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Confused.
So the
And then if you're
Science,
going in a different
bitch.
direction, You're actually traveling outside of time because you're in a different time-space vector.
So the immovable rod is like the fly in the car, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Like to the
just,
planet, it's just shrink.
Relative to the planet.
Which, it's a question somebody asked me this week. Like, if I were to travel in time, right? So like a day, let's say I'm here in my house. If I travel in time, like this number of years to a different date, I would be in the middle of space because the Earth will be moved
Somewhere
to somewhere else.
Right.
I was like, oh my god, all these movies are a lie.
That depends if you're traveling in time relative to this. Because traveling a period through time, like if you get closer to the sun, you get the faster time would go. So if you would to like travel faster through time through an object with greater gravity, you just have to get closer to it. And you will go through time faster, and then when you would return, you would have traveled forward in time.
But relative, you'd be going slower compared to something further away from the center of that gravitational well.
Science.
Yeah, it's interesting.
so
stuff.
the immovable rod just stays in place.
Yes.
is
Yeah.
what we're
It's in
saying.
geosynchronous position.
So if you're saying I want to keep this door shut using the immovable rod, it stays next to the door as the
Right.
door moves through space.
Yes. Although it would be interesting if you said, I'm going to click this and make it immovable relative to the sun. Click. And you have no idea what's going on
Just
with
tear a
astronomy.
hole through the planet.
Rip your own head off because it just goes flying towards you.
Creates a wormhole, and you're like, oh.
You come through the wormhole like, what's up, bro? I've been hanging with the Eagle Bros.
Chat's up here. Hey, what's up?
I'm your great-great-grandson.
I'm Chad the 14th.
I
Full circle.
actually I was thinking about that. You were talking about wanting to meet somebody that's the 14th. Tweeter is actually the 14th. I've been raising those red sparrows for
Wait, I thought it was just
85 years.
I thought it was just a new bird, like not like the son of Tweeter, but like
It's like
they are
birth.
lineage.
lineage.
Yeah, he
Alright.
mishandled the previous 13, and this is the 14th survivor.
When when going through the woods, I often play wingman, pun intended, for Tweeter in order to continue to propagate his line.
Is he
There's
royalty?
a reason I so often ritual cast speak with animals, because the second I see a red sparrow, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Hey, listen,
shall name
my
this
boy
one
Tweeter here.
13.
My boy Tweeter here is a great in bed. I'm just saying, lives on my shoulder. I hear it all. Everyone, all the other birds sing his praises.
I can't sleep the nights. There's just so much noise coming from my shoulder mushroom.
Bro, I can't believe you let me borrow your Ferrari last night. That was so cool of you. While you were out serving at the soup kitchen. Like, you're just a really great guy.
Nah,
So
yeah.
is Tweeter male or female? Male?
Tweeter is male.
Okay. So then that means,
Which-
and you said Tweeter is a red sparrow?
Yes.
So then his mate would be a red-breasted sparrow. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong.
So
But yeah. But then I like keep the egg and like kick the other bird out.
I'm mom now. Get out of here.
Bird out.
Like it's too much. I can't maintain, like, because like then there'd be like domestic disputes and the nest on my shoulder. No. forcible divorce. I'm taking the child.
I think PETA, if it existed, would have some objection to this.
Several of the
Listen,
tweeters
there
have
is
met
PETA
untimely
in
demise.
Talaria. It's people eating tasty animals.
Vargas
So-
does not agree.
Any more questions for the DM while he's ready to
I
answer
have
something?
No problem eating other animals.
Josh, as a DM, how did you feel about the druid in the Dungeons and Dragons movie trailer turning into an owlbear?
Owlbear.
I was very pleased with that.
Rule of cool.
I
It was
mean,
very cool.
it depends on how. I don't know. It's not super overpowered. I mean, if you look at somebody, actually, I saw somebody did the breakdown.
It's like a bear. It's pretty much just a beefier bear.
You would have to, a druid would have to be level 9. A Circle of the Moon druid would have to be level 9 to transform into an owlbear. I think that's how they came up with it. It's a CR3
because of its CR3. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's late enough game that it's not like a level 3 is trying to be like, let me, transform into this. But at the same time, it's not like I can think of other animals, Tyrannosaurus Rex, that would be worse for the party, or dinosaurs for the druid to turn into. So
there's better animals, but by the time you're level 9, turning into an owlbear isn't as cool.
No. I mean,
visually cool, but
visually cool as shit.
Yeah, if we had the CG to make it look like that, I mean, yes, turn into whatever you want, but
is there a path for Fargus to eventually shape change into a dinosaur?
I don't think so.
Did they exist at all? Like, do I have to become an archaeologist and like excavate the land, or?
I will tell you, they are still roaming the planet now, in a very secluded section.
Somewhere in Talaria.
Would you excavate the lands that you swore to protect?
I didn't swear to protect the dirt.
But you'd kill all the plants on top of the dirt.
Yeah.
And I'll replant
the trees
them.
need the
I'll replant them. I'll make another 8-hour ritual.
I think I'm in charge of what's good for the planet.
Go planet!
Captain Fargus, he's the hero.
I have a DM question.
Okay.
Or like, could be interesting for people. Like, how do you manage all of the players' like goals in terms of like, I know like we are all wanting something different, perhaps. Like, how do you mix them all? Are your plans to sort of like have our characters at the end sort of reach that goal, or partly, or how do you manage? Like
that depends entirely on you guys. The big thing is I take what you guys want out of your backstories, and I try to just think of it as continuing that story for you guys. And I also go by the idea that you're not going to do it in one go unless it's a very simple task. It's going to be multiple steps to that, and you're going to not do it like the party's not going to stop and do Fargus's whole mission and then stop and do Brother Maury's whole mission. You're going to do like a step here, and then you're going to get caught up in something that M3 needs to get done, and then Fargus is going to have something that drags you in this direction, and then you're going to stumble across something that brings you back to yours, and then Brother Maury will have a moment where he does part of his, and then it kind of wraps up for a little bit. That also gives, I find it's better that way because it allows everyone to have little bits of their backstory moving a lot. It also gives them a chance to reflect and grow, because if you just do it, then it's like it's just one straight line. And you're going from point A to point B, and it's just a quest. If you start breaking it into smaller pieces, your goals may change. You may realize that Arvad wants to do something different. Maybe he's gonna accept something he thought he was gonna fight against, or he was gonna, instead of getting revenge, he was gonna work on fixing the entire situation so no one else had to go through this. Or, so it gives you those little chances.
Or M3 doesn't want to lick your apple anymore.
Yeah. So it gives you those chances for those characters to have those growth moments, rather than just one big quest where it's like, I have to kill this guy because he was mean to me, or he did this bad thing, and now everything is about killing him, and there's no time for you to stop and say, hey, listen, I just saw what you went through with the guy that messed up your life. Maybe I don't want to do that.
Right. Didn't
bring closure. It really caused a lot more problems than it was worth. Maybe I'll just turn him into the town's guard, or we'll go and we'll imprison him and turn him into someone, or instead of just outright killing him, we'll get information that'll help us with something else. So it gives you guys a chance to like do some, have, and then grow as grow the character rather than just make it one big long quest. It's also easier as a DM to balance a storyline, because I can attach parts of your storyline to whatever is currently going on. If you look at it, I can, we can kind of give you that attachment and let it kind of lead out. So instead of following like a straight line, it's almost like you're crisscrossing it back and forth, finding your way back, giving you those chances to grow and really let your actions settle in.
Because ultimately, the journey brings you back to the start of your destination, where the answer always was within yourself.
Brother Maury couldn't agree more. It's all within.
The power is within you.
So says I
Answers are
am.
within.
Where did the voice come from, Mickey?
Yeah.
I mean, televangelism is where the voice came from. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, that's definitely just a Southern Baptist kind of voice. And he's kind of a, cult leader, preacher kind of vibe. So that's literally where it came from.
Is there an use for the blood that he's like gathering his book or whatever? Is that for something?
We'll find out. I don't
I
think.
just want to know.
Oh,
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, one, he would use that to like keep track of any sort of like cult followers, basically, if they wanted to officially join
A member list,
become a follower of the divinity within. Then they would be more than welcome to join. And you don't need a church or temple to worship the divinity within. There's technically only like one prayer for the religion or cult.
I imagine it by this point.
Depends on the size.
Brother Maury's gotta have band-aids over all of his fingers because he has to keep poking himself.
Calluses.
His spells.
He has a diabetic thumb.
Yeah. Well, that's that's essentially what he has. Is what is that? The lancet.
Lancet, yeah.
Lancet. That's it. Yeah, lancet. He essentially has a little like spring-loaded lancet that just,
It'll make for excellent scrying later.
Yeah. Oh yes. Not to metagame too much, but yes, 100% it will make for.
I already, when he
scrying.
started that, I was like, that's exactly where that's going to go eventually.
Like, just eventually, any bits I can get and keep, I will have, and we can look back on like, oh my gosh, if I have, Brother Maury hasn't seen the, big bad book dude. But like, imagine getting some of his blood. Ooh, big bad book dude blood.
Big bad book dude blood.
Big bad book dude blood. Got it.
Oh, I got a question for M3 for Jake.
Oh,
why didn't you share the shield with the party?
So he didn't find it necessary just yet. With also the conversations, no one has asked about, well, where'd Leon come from, or any of those things. So it's been running around a bit, and then he was just thinking about smithing stuff to work on his armor. That was a priority for him, and just time management got away from him.
Just poor time management.
Time management, yep.
I just didn't feel like showing anybody I had this shield with that names on
He
it.
just looked at his task manager and he was looking at percentage of CPU being used.
That's you know what? I'm gonna put a little on Mickey that did this and not Brother Maury, but I meant to tell the party everything that I found in that room and like about the letter. Just totally forgot.
Wasn't there.
that's on me, but I can say, Brother Maury maybe forgot when trying to come up with names for twin skeletons. Yeah.
Through divine inspiration from within myself, I've come up with the names Tia and Tamara Mowry.
Exactly.
Sister.
I have an Arvid question. Why is Arvid okay with the zombies and skeletons? Like, no freak out. If his family is just all humans.
Right. I would say he understands, that dark side because of something that happened to him or that he saw. So he understands there's like a darker side to like magic and like evil in a sense, if you could say.
Evil is a gray area.
Mm-hmm. That's why he also didn't want to. He wasn't too comfortable with like when Fargus wanted to like kill Anna that had turned into a vampire. It was that there's something there about like that she became evil by becoming a vampire that affected him in a sense, so that he understands these the world of evil and the dark side of it all. It's not foreign to him.
I want Medic and Brother Maury to discuss medicine at some point. Because
vaccine
it hasn't come up, but Brother Maury has a medical background.
Okay.
Which is really funny, and it's just that's why I was so upset about the damn identifying the sex of the skeleton, because I was like, no, Maury would know to like look at the pelvic bone, like he would know. He would know that, and then like I'm like being deceived. I'm like, no, like he's like questioning this within himself. Like, wait, no, what? No,
I know
they're
this.
female. But he's saying they're male, and now I'm questioning everything that I was taught. Like,
This one little deception is grown into like a total like self breakdown.
Yeah, like questioning of his like, medical background. Really, like, wait, I would know this. Like, I would know the difference between a male skeleton and a female skeleton, and know exactly what to look for.
Off the top of my head, the two things to recognize for a skeleton is rib placement as well as, or rib count, and then the actual width of the pelvic girdle.
Yeah. The pelvic, like, it'd be wider to fit a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squeeze a watermelon through, basically.
Yeah. Like, oh, this one is bigger than this one. I see.
Pelvis is thick.
Yeah.
With 2 C's.
Wider than average.
You see the pelvic bone on that skeleton?
Yeah.
Damn. Woo!
Wider than average.
Make my tailbone point up.
That skeleton's pelvis is thick, yo.
I regret this arc of conversation. I don't like it.
You did it.
I didn't start that.
You don't like thick skeletons?
Yeah, he said thick.
I continue.
I think you did.
All right.
I regretted it.
I have a question for everyone. What was your favorite NPC from the last campaign?
the Furbog botanist that ran the shop in Pun. From whom I took From whom I took much inspiration for this character.
I was gonna say that.
Hydor
for me.
Hodor.
Hydor.
Hydor.
Hojor.
Hydor.
Hodor.
Okay, Captain D. What about you, Mickey?
Wait, I want to know why Captain D.
He was a very complex character. Like his interactions and expectations of how he interacted with the party was constantly changing and evolving depending upon how much emotional abuse he was getting from Keys. So that's what I liked about him.
I will say I had like a really good character idea for him. And I was like, then Kia started flirting with him, and I was like, he's gonna flirt back.
Yeah, there you go.
And then Kies was like, oh, he kind of likes me, I'm done.
That's how, like, I hate the phrase like that's what my character would do, and then especially when it comes to like a sexual situation or something, like, oh, my character would, that's what they would do, they would try to fuck the door open, like, you know.
What?
I don't know.
Every hole.
Yeah.
There are a lot of dumb that's what my character would do things.
But like,
I know.
that is what Kies would be like, oh, this person likes me back, never mind, you know, like that's
Like
that's
it did,
what he would
like
do.
he likes me, I'm done. Not like he wants to hook up real quick and we'll keep this moving.
Yeah, no, he likes me. It's like, ooh, I got a stage 5 clinger here. I gotta move on.
He wants to
like commitment.
he wants to talk about more than just what's in my pants. I'm out.
That's you know, personally, I would probably say Captain D as well, but I will throw in, just for the shock value, the very old prostitute woman, Roxanne. You don't have to take out your dentures.
Then what did I pay for?
We may have only had a brief encounter, but
One night.
you know, she holds a special place in my heart.
I'm just glad that
changed me
Captain D
forever.
got to see Kies
Yeah,
get his comeuppance by getting his comeuppance.
that was definitely good. Oh
I gotta definitely keep watching it.
Yeah, you're not up to Captain D yet.
No. I mean, it's ours, you know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's ours.
Are you up to my favorite stream from last campaign?
Which is?
Somebody might have had a little too much to drink on stream.
Oh no, I'm not there yet.
Wasn't a character.
No, not the character.
Oh, the person.
Yeah.
That was the best stream.
All right. No, I gotta keep watching. I gotta keep it. I know there was. Who was it though?
You'll
I do
have to
like-
watch
I-
to find out.
Yeah. I did like the like stoned Furbog. That was good.
Yeah.
Hodor.
Hodor.
Good.
Redcon Hodor.
Hydor.
Redcon Hodor.
Hodor.
Hold the door. Hold the door.
So, here's a question: did you what level of tech did you guys think you would get to? Now we have an artificer. How far into the like Magitech kind of scene did you think you would get?
What do you mean, like how far?
Like, how far did we think the world would go, or
Yes.
how far did we think we personally? Yeah. You know, I would say personally, when we encountered the different type of Warforged, like there was the Dragonborn Warforged, which I think is a super cool concept. That's personally when I was like, ooh, there is like more to this world, right? Like it's not just like I inscribed runes. It's like, oh, they're building shit.
So who is the artificer?
Oh,
Oh,
M3.
M3. Yeah, of course. I'm like, I forget.
Well, he's not that far along. He's one level. So I mean,
Okay. All right. Oh, okay.
he's fresh out of college.
Circa 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always liked, like that sort of like steampunk mechanic that he has going on, and like the building. So I think it could be really cool when you like build shit in the game. How much you will allow him to go crazy nuts with those builds.
Well,
yeah, Josh and I are figuring that out.
I will say that last campaign, you guys would have found something really awesome had the ship made it to where it was going.
That's intriguing.
Guess what? Anthony's gonna say, I don't know why. We're gonna sail south.
We must go to the savage wilds. I have heard of this land.
Must go.
Feel a pull from nature in the southern direction.
We just turn around right now. We don't even fight the zombies.
I mean, yeah, I may have figured out a way to get you guys there later.
Oh man, it would they're all sail ships, right? They're like sailing ships.
Yeah, that's how we ended the last campaign. Was a long distance ship heading south.
Now it's airships.
That's what I was asking. In the 100 years that's passed, have we gotten better ships, or are we still just?
You've gotten worse.
Yeah, the world got wrecked. So
yeah, what you guys. It's like, think about, I don't want to say, almost like Fallout compared to like. Yeah. Like there's like there was that fall apart of the world, and now like some of the remnants of that is still there, but a lot of the shipwrights and things like that, there wasn't a need for them, so they just kind of fell out of being.
Also, possibly the highest end spellcasters were dead.
Yeah, they were. So. The highest end spellcaster was dead.
Oh. What was the dwarf's name? R.I.P.
Felix.
Yeah, Felix.
Yeah, R.I.P. Poor Felix.
Didn't make the cut for favorite NPC though. Sorry.
But like, yeah. You know who my favorite NPC was?
You're gonna say Ariel. Oh, never mind.
No. What? Zook or Zooks?
Zook.
Yeah. Zook. Zook is my favorite. I just love Zook.
Speaking of, that's who I will be playing in the Spelljammers campaign.
But thinking about the tech though, I feel like that's why Brother Mori reacts to M3 in such a way. Like his things are all very techy, and honestly, it looks violent. Right? Like if he shoots a syringe at someone in my entire existence, that looks like he's just throwing a knife at him, you know?
It's
that
an efficient delivery device.
That was a positive thing?
You just got stabbed with love?
Well, the thing is, the aid spell has a range of 30 feet. So I'm like, I gotta shoot this thing. How else are we gonna mechanically deliver a stim pack? Well, that's actually what led me to the idea of a stim pack, because I was thinking like the Space Marines from StarCraft. So that's how they get that additional aid.
I mean, I like it. I really like it. It's gonna be funny, I guess, to me to see what happens to it in an anti-magic field, because you're like, this damn thing is malfunctioned.
Dink, or it just like it like hits, but it just doesn't like it just ow.
Yeah,
what? Ow. What was that?
Brother Mori will get shot with one. He'll be like, I told you this was violent.
This just hurt.
It just doesn't do anything.
That's my blood you trying to steal.
I knew he was a bloodless one. He wants my blood for himself. He knows the power of my blood.
He's been slowly stealing it one tiny dart at a time for sessions.
Okay, here's a question for you guys. Outside of what you've already seen, what is one monster you'd like to fight?
Hydra.
That was quick.
Always wanted to fight a Hydra.
Just low level, like furry creatures that are happy.
Like a squirrel or a chipmunk.
Bunny. Like bunnies, squirrels. Yeah.
Last campaign, we didn't actually run into any mimics, did we? I can't think of any mimics. We haven't run into any of those. I think Hydras are cool. Giants would be fun.
What do you think, Ariel?
I mean, I don't know a lot about like the different monsters, but I know there's like there's this one that I know that was like darker too, like horror type style monster. It's like an Oni or something. I thought it was really
Oni?
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was a really
Anthony?
cool monster.
I've played D&D for a long time, and I have never fought a Tarask.
Or a
Even though it's
Tarsk. Tarsk, depending on however.
Tarsk.
Yeah, I've heard of.
The accent.
So, not saying that I want to, but I definitely I've been in campaigns where like we got to like level 18, 19 and like did like whole army battles versus a god. But I've never had the opportunity to fight just your basic ass Tarask.
Okay.
Or Tarasque or Tarsk.
Tarsk.
I say Tarask.
All you really need is a bunch of rangers on carpets of flying, and he's screwed. But
Actually, the one combo I heard that was best against Tarasks are clay golems, because they're immune to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage. Immune, and a Tarask's main offensive is nothing but that.
yeah, like physically, and that's why the whole rangers on carpets of flying thing is like stay out of his range and just pick at him till he dies.
The best thing I've ever heard was
How did you write Tarak?
Tarrasque.
I'm pretty sure it's the creature that's on the front of the player's handbook.
Is it? No.
Tarask. Oh,
Dungeon. It's on the front of one of these books. Nope, not player's handbook.
Tarask. Gargantuan monstrosity Titan.
Mhm.
Titan. Oh well,
Not the DMG.
Not the Lich.
Nope, not the Lich. I think you're thinking of like on one of the original DM screens, it was a red dragon.
Oh, you know what? That's exactly
yeah.
what I was thinking of. Beholder would be fun.
Beholder. Yeah, Beholder would be fun to fight.
Yeah.
Or a custom one where it'd be one of the older titans from like a different culture, like a Gaelic god titan, or
Empyrean.
yeah, or something like a Naga or a Japanese Oni.
So the thing I heard for the Tarask though was you basically create you get a whole bunch of goblins, level 1 goblins, and you strap them to bombs and you let the Tarask eat them, and then you detonate them like boom, and then you just next set boom, he just literally eats himself to death.
Bags of holding and jump in.
I did that in we did that with a dragon one time in Pathfinder. There was a spell that you could turn amber beads into, it was like 3d6 or 3d8 like explosive bombs, but there was no limit to how many of them you could make. So I spent like weeks just acquiring amber beads and made a pouch of them and just had them all trigger on the same trigger word, and I did like, it was like 48 d6 in one turn.
And due to feedback with dddice.com, it can handle that now.
Yes.
I wonder if it was us that was rolling like 40 d20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder who that was.
Allegedly.
Oh yeah.
I will say, like, I like fights with like lair actions, legendary actions, like because I like it's more cinematic, like the back and forth and things like that, which is, a lot of fun when you mentioned it earlier. It's not just the enemy whacks you real hard and then I go hit it, he goes hits it. They go hit it. She goes hits it. Enemy whacks you real hard, and you're just kind of running the same shit over and over and over again. I like that it's like, I try to do this, and he legendary resists, and then he makes his attack, and I make an attack, and then he gets to make an attack, or he teleports, or whatever actions. It always makes the fight more fun.
Piggybacking on that, timered events. Like, something bad's gonna happen in 4 rounds. We gotta flip the switch in 4 rounds, get past the big bad, and then get to the switch and turn it off in 4 rounds, or we all die, or something like that.
I have a feeling
Arvid dies.
Encounter where Arvid goes down. 4 rounds.
Arvid goes down. Or Arvid goes
4 rounds.
Arvid,
You went down twice.
Flip the switch. You're gonna die anyways.
I have a feeling this encounter is going to be a little bit like that, because there's like a portal that's going on or something. There's you guys are dealing with undead up top. Me and Goatheart have like issues down below. Like there's going to be some complexity to this.
I'm gonna stay with the horses.
I mean,
So one of them bites you like,
One of them is the zombie horse.
Arvid is just fighting horses. We're like, Arvid, what are you doing, man?
They're just regular horses, and one just bit him. Now he's punching in the head.
Like, these horses, they're zombies, dude. Zombie horse.
It's a zombie horse, I swear.
I regret not befriending the horses now.
Yeah.
Like now that I could have like yelled up, help them.
They could have not heard you.
Don't bite Arvid.
Don't bite Arvid. A horse bites Arvid. Arvid goes down. Like, it's like Chomp, and you just see Arvid collapse.
I hadn't fed a horse once. It is not something you want to screw around with. Mm-mm.
Hold your hand.
The damage die does not do it justice.
Oh, there goes like 3 fingers, by accident.
The damage. It's not the damage dice that matters. It's the fact that you now have disadvantage on every swing with your right hand because there's only 2 fingers left.
And they're not next to each other.
Permanent status effect. You're just rock on.
Shotgun.
What happened to you, horses? I was petting 2 horses, and then bam! I thought they were zombies. They were just regular horses.
I thought my fingers were carrots.
It was dark.
Last time I buy orange gloves.
Oh Jesus. Oh. So,
But I will say, like, with the this would be a nice circle back here. The first combat in the Spelljammer campaign does have some very interesting things. Not like kind of like timered events, but it's random. So kind of like wild magic events in the middle of combat.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I was sure you were going to say really space horses.
Space horses.
Our first combat has space
You cannot
horses.
cast spells with somatic components because you have no fingers.
Or just wave your knuckles.
The only one the druid can cast is Tidal Wave.
Hey. And conjure Eagle Bro. What's up, Eagle Bro?
What's up?
They're like, they got their feathers. They're like, what's up?
Can we make that part of my backstory? I just know like some hippie eagle that chills in the Great Forest.
Yeah, but it won't help you because it's too fucking lazy.
That's fine. That's fine.
He's like, what's up, Fargus, bro?
We just want to talk to him. It's like, yo, what's up, Chad? 14?
Listen, man, I could totally fly you there, but like, I got that problem with my tail feathers, and like, if I leave, then if I head out, I could get tired, and then,
Like, I don't really wanna.
Like, I want to help you, but like, could you ask me to like do something that requires me to sit here for a while?
Like, that's just a big ask, man. I didn't think we were like you know how like you have
Gross.
friends, and then you have like friends that would help you move. I didn't think
thought
I
we were
was.
more like
I'm not.
friend.
Yeah, we're more acquaintances.
Bro, I was
Yeah,
like,
I've seen you
I'll
around,
split a pizza
but-
with you, bro. But like, I wouldn't buy you a pizza, bro.
Also, like, if you're gonna have me fly you somewhere, you know it's like cash, grass, or ass always, man. Like,
And then I'm just like, and then I just offer up like conjuring like 2 eagle twins named Tia and Tamara for him.
Not to confuse.
Bro, this is Mary
confused with
Kate
the
and
other
Ashley
Tia
Eagle
Tamara.
here, so.
Bro, they'll do whatever I say if you catch my drift.
This is Lindsay and this is Lohan.
Let's just say they follow verbal commands.
bro.
Bro, listen, if you can get me a third eagle, I'm in.
I'm just saying that Conjure Animal is a concentration spell, and I can wild shape while concentrating on it.
You're also giving ass.
Not that many levels till I can transform into something that flies.
Like, bro, maybe. Like, all right, bro.
Related but unrelated. Have you like so eagles when they do mate though, like clench claws and like death spiral to the ground? Like you want to talk about like race to the finish?
Did you finish? No, but I did. I'm going by.
I just whoom.
I'm out.
Trees are coming up awful quick. Are you done? Stop talking. I can't focus.
Don't make me nervous.
This is what Fargus hears when he casts communicate with animal. He doesn't want to hear it, but he does.
Here's like 2 caterpillars. Like, I saw you looking at that other caterpillar.
I wasn't looking at a caterpillar. I have 8 eyes. I'm looking at everything.
Spider's like, baby, that was amazing. And the female spider's like, yeah, it's time for you to get eaten, bro.
Gonna eat your head now.
Like, hey, that was amazing, and I'm hungry. So come
You're
here.
gonna die now.
Num 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 num.
Things you don't find on the Discovery Channel.
Oh,
No one talks about the horrors of that ritual spell. But
I just picture
That's
it
like-
kind of
that's
like
like
that
eating
Rick
all the
and Morty
mushrooms.
episode where he's like, "You don't fuck with squirrels, Morty."
that's exactly what I was thinking. Will you let me build a squirrel army?
No,
If I get a big enough bag of acorns, can I bribe a squirrel army to do my bidding?
no.
I get advantage on charisma checks to convince animals to help me.
Don't care.
Damn it.
Not squirrels. Squirrels are a different breed.
Don't
Fine.
fuck with the squirrels.
Like, I'll give you.
Squirrels are beasts.
I will give you this bag of acorns to crawl up that guy's butthole. I'm in. Can I hide my acorns up there?
You can hide them wherever you want.
Oh,
Speak with animals is a weird spell.
Yeah.
keeps getting weirder. Oh,
I would just never cast it during springtime.
Oof.
you just hear birds yelling. You trying to get hit? Yeah, I'm trying to hit that.
You guys just see the mating dance. They're just like hopping along. Oh, look at that. Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, bitch, get over here.
Do you think I'm dancing for my health over here? I got you these shiny rocks. Get over here.
Look how bright my chest is.
Yo, girl, you ever see a chest this bright? No.
There's this other one. But I've brought you a twig. Do you like it?
It represents how hard I am for you.
Twitter just be trying too hard, bringing me all these twigs. I just want me a little bad bird, you know? Twitter was just like too into me.
Yeah, the one over there is like definitely the brightest, but he tries too hard.
Like, I feel like all he does is go to the gym and preen his feathers.
I'm not gonna cast that spell as much.
I'm looking for like more of a bird with a dad bod, if you know what I mean.
Oh, Tweeter's dad bought it up, dude. He gets all the seeds he wants. And I only send him
his
on, like,
Lamborghini. Well,
I only send him on chaotic missions sometimes.
How deeply Anthony has thought about this troubles me.
I've played. So I haven't played a druid before, but I've played like characters with like speak with animal before, and like that was something that came up. It's like, you now understand animals. You hear everything. The forest is just a cacophony.
That's why you do so many drugs.
That's
What are
what
they saying?
the birds that are flying are just yelling like, "I'm falling! I'm still falling! Oh my god, I'm falling!"
If I stop, I die. If I stop, I die. If I stop, I die.
That's echolocation is just them yelling, "Food!
Oh my god, the nighttime
Food!
is just screeching.
Food!
There it is.
Num 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 num. Food! Food!
It's actually Marco Polo.
And then the insect just pull up.
What are you doing, Jim? Bird comes out.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Like, speak with plants is another spell that I'm about to get. Like, oh my god. It grants them minor sentience for the duration of the spell.
I've got this itch where the ants keep crawling in down by my roots, and I wish I could scratch it. Would you scratch it for me?
Are mushrooms plants?
They are their own category, technically, but they're most closely resembling DNA-wise to actually animals.
So you could technically speak with mushrooms too?
No, I think for the purposes of Josh's ruling, mushrooms are plants.
Yeah.
So you would be able to speak with mushrooms.
If I cast speak with plants.
They're their own fourth kingdom.
I thought it was fifth now.
Fifth? Is it fifth?
I think there's two microbial ones.
Yeah.
Plasma?
Protista's its own. And then you got Monera, which are bacteria or something like that. And then you got plants, animals, and fungus.
Wait, weren't there mushroom people in near Pudmit?
So
Myconids?
literally, I was about
Yeah,
to say, when you awaken a large enough mushroom, the stat block you're supposed to use is actually a myconid.
It becomes, if you awaken it, it literally becomes a myconid.
Yeah.
So, would myconids like Fargus or dislike Fargus?
I would
Because
go
he's
with
inhaling their babies and cooking them
Yeah.
every breakfast.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I mean,
you
it's not
eat their
baby.
children.
They're not
Yeah.
sentient. They would have sentient children.
Is he eating their children or their seed, if you get my drift?
Oh yeah,
What's he?
you're just chowing down on
You gotta swallow it.
myconid ejaculate.
Myconid sperm.
Look at Anthony's face.
Well, 'cause I'm trying to put together. So I mean,
That's
okay,
some protein.
so because, well, no, because so mushrooms like.
Oh my God, girl, I'm
propagate by,
sporing.
spreading spores. So yes, that is what's happening. Yeah.
I'm about to send out my spores, baby.
But they're not like they're not like
fungus porn.
landing on anything. Like they don't procreate. Like it's not like flowers where there's like male and female flowers like pollinate and like the cells go through. It's like asexual reproduction basically.
Right.
So it's yes, it's there if you'd be so crass. Mushroom ejaculate.
For those of you at home who watch our next stream,
But it's
something to
not
think
like
about
it's
next
not
time Fargus has breakfast.
It's not seeking anything. It's just trying to land somewhere.
No, I don't want that soup at all, dude. We need to take this to Mr. Cavillion. So, do you know what you drank last week?
Hey, this is all out of character. I am the foremost expert of mushrooms in the party.
That's true.
So the choices are apple pea,
Or more from a
mushroom.
jackalope.
tea.
Look, if you've microdosed for 80 years, it heightens your awareness, and it's what allows me to connect with nature in such a strong way.
100%.
It's not my fault. I will give him much less
Not
next
my
time.
fault.
Yeah, I said, "Do you want some?" It's very energizing. He said, "Yes, absolutely." Should have passed his con check. Did I have lesser restoration prepped? No, I didn't.
So, because myconids are listed as plant and creatures in their stack block, they would, for 5e, they would be plants.
Okay, I figured mushrooms in general would just be plants as far as 5e is concerned.
Most people consider them plants, but I mean, at the same time, some people
don't give him ideas to overcomplicate my character. They're plants, damn it.
And then some people can consider tomatoes as vegetables. So we'll just let that go.
What is it? Intelligence is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing it doesn't belong in a fruit salad. Have you ever seen that? It's like the D&D.
Charisma is selling tomato-based fruit salad.
Dexterity is slicing the tomato. Strength is throwing the tomato.
Crushing the
wall.
tomato.
Yeah. What's
Dexterity.
No, dexterity's cutting the slicing the tomato.
Mm-hmm.
Strength, dex, constitution. What's constitution with the tomato?
Eating a bunch of tomatoes and not getting sick.
Yeah.
Eating a tomato-based fruit salad.
Knowing that
That's called salsa,
tomato-based
buddy.
fruit salad is salsa, yeah.
Yeah, that's
salsa.
also.
Charisma is selling tomato-based, yeah. Selling salsa, basically.
Tomato, the seed.
Selling salsa.
Oh, like a nice mango salsa. All right, so that's the stream.
Ending
I
with
mean, that is a good time to call it. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Don't forget to check out our friends at DD Dice. Dice Tower DD Dice is where we use our dice roller. Dice Tower Dungeons, they just have amazing stuff. Dice towers, they have an 18-inch ship that has a dice tower. Doesn't have like a
Articulating dragon.
yeah. The ship has a dice jail.
Dice vault and shit.
Dice vault, yeah. It's average 18 inch, so it's average length.
Skirky.
And don't forget, what's the day that our Spelljammer?
August 2nd.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that.
30 Eastern.
I'm gonna play that one more time.
0802.
We will plug it the next two streams. Next however many next one stream.
We'll
yeah.
plug it every stream while it's happening. 'cause-
Yes, then two.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna
We'll plug the Sunday stream on Tuesday. Like it's
Yes.
reciprocal.
yeah.
Reciprocal.
Or
Reciprocity.
something like that. Reciprocal.
Don't forget, our videos do go live Wednesday at noon Eastern time. This week I will not set it to midnight. I will set it to noon.
It's the one that starts with the P.
Yeah.
So you can watch it live, the live premiere every Wednesday after it airs. So this will go up Wednesday. But we'll see you Sunday. Bye everyone.
Bah.
Wild Space, the next frontier. These are the voyages of the Spelljammer Academy. Their ongoing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life forms and new civilizations, to boldly go where few have been before, surviving the perils of wild space and beyond.